Boom. Okay, there we go. We're live. Sweet. That was an easy setup again. Man, those lights are colorful. Anyway, let me just make sure I got everything set up here. Yeah, I do. Good. I may be joined by my best friend, known as C-Moth on Twitter and in the gaming world as Derek LB, or Derek Pound, as we have affectionately named him. But for right now, I'm just opening this up. I've got a few topics I'd like to cover, but if we don't get to them all, no big deal. Just stuff that's either happened in the news, stuff in the geeking communities. Geeking, is that even a word? And just some personal experiences that I've had in the world with women and dating and with friendships too. And I think it'll be very useful information to a lot of guys that I know that either follow me or listen to me otherwise. So let's see. First, we're going to give Sir Derek Pound some time to join in, and we will start everything going. Let's see. Brand? What? Interesting. I'm looking at all the stuff I can set up too. Whoa. I can add music. Wow. That's interesting, actually. Let's see. Banners. Private chat, comments. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, I just got back from a very nice long day. Started it off with a 7-mile, very brisk walk. Got it done in a little over 2 hours, and it was incredibly good. Dealt with some dramatics with Amazon all week, and I'm just glad that's out of the way now, because get up there, Homelander. Anyway, put shortly, I tried to get myself a new phone off of Amazon and do a payment plan through it, just because, and it got somehow lost. It went missing, and I thought, how do you misplace a phone? And so anyway, I just ended up going into a store and getting it anyway. So there it is. Ta-da. Good old Google Pixel. This thing is pretty awesome so far. I am not used to better technology. I'm usually the type to not buy stuff very often, but it was something I needed. But I was surprised to actually have something just go missing like that. Yeah, now live on my channel. Yay, thank you. Anyway. So, yeah, I finally got that problem solved, and now I feel like there's other things I need to get solved. And as anybody that knows me, I had my smart car broken into about 5, almost 6 months ago. And it was, they bashed a window in to try to reach into the back of the car, and they tried to steal Library Chick's purse. And they did, actually. I say tried. They tried and succeeded. It was bad. And I have fought tooth and nail trying to find that same window everywhere in the world. And the closest thing to it I could get is replacing the glass itself in the window, which was going to cost me a good $550. But this is a lesson I like to try to teach everybody right here. Lesson number 1, patience can pay off. $550 for a window when I could potentially find it again, for sale somewhere else. And lo and behold, I actually found it on eBay about a week ago, and communicated with the guy. He's from the UK. It's like a parts store. And they said, yeah, we'll send it to you over in the US. And so instead of getting it for $500, just the glass, I'm getting the whole part and replacing it myself for $100. Save myself $400. And so patience paid off, if you will. But I'm just so glad that I was able to find that. And that's a lesson to everybody here too, is that a lot of people like to solve their problems immediately, quickly, and it's a man's instinct to want to do so. We want to solve our problems and get on with our lives, but sometimes if there is a more practical, I hate to say cheaper solution, especially with something a little higher cost, it's so much more worth it. It is so much more worth it. It's more worth it in the or mentally speaking and financially speaking. And so speaking of that too, talk about patience. I also want to talk about comfort too. The levels of going out of my comfort zone lately with like it's related to things and financial situations, whatever. I'm not in any bad financial situation or anything, but I do want to do better. I think every guy does. Everybody does, really. And I ended up trading in a lot of collectibles that I had collected over the past decade just to make some space in my closet, just to make some room. It was these dang things right here, these Funko Pops. I think I sold about 45 of them. I kept the most valuable ones and the ones of the characters I really, really liked, like Governor, Megatron, Snape. The Fruity Pebbles one was bought by a library chick, so that's what her nickname for me is. So I thought, you know what? My nickname here, the nickname she gives me, one of the favorite Harry Potter characters. That's cool. But yeah, I just ended up selling a bunch and got a couple hundred out of it, which was pretty nice. They're selling for a decent amount right now, so it's something for everybody to consider if y'all have some. And it was hard to do because I was thinking, man, I've had these for a long time. Maybe I want to keep them if I ever get a house or a bigger space or something. But then I thought, why? I actually like having more room. So I made the tough decision to take them over somewhere and sell them. And yeah, they had a lot of memories attached, things like that. I remember where I got them all, but okay, I can say I had them at some point, which is cool. But the stuff I've kept now, even cooler. So I did that, and I donated about 60 or 70% of the shirts I had. I used to have a good collection of clothes, very good collection of clothes. I think I counted, was it 80 shirts, something like that? And I condensed down to 20 or 30, I think. I'm going to have to look back. But it's hard to do, but I ended up donating them. And I gave them the bag, and I didn't even look at it because I knew if I look at it, I'd go, wait, maybe I want to keep that. And it's not because I'm a hoarder by any means, not whatsoever. It's that I think, what if I need it? But I need to stop thinking that way. I need to stop thinking, and a lot of us need to stop thinking, what if? Instead, just think, how is it right now, and how is it going to affect you in the future, instead of thinking about like the past and how something that you bought previously is going to affect you in the future. If it's not helping you out now and you haven't used it, I think the trick is in about a month, then you don't need it. You don't need it. Unless it's something, like I said, that's cool. Like these things here, they stay there and good decoration, whatever. But you don't take those out and play with them or anything like that. They are there to collect. So that said, it was a slight discomfort to do at first because I was just thinking I was getting rid of, a decade worth of collections and stuff. But when it was all done, it was a serious relief. It was the same thing with the clothes and everything. And I could probably do even more of both. And I think to myself, somebody else could wear this. Somebody else could get a kick out of this and enjoy this. A lot of the things I have are very unique. But it ended up being a pretty interesting feeling afterwards, pretty freeing actually. Because as the years go by, I get different interests and different things that I like and things that I want to keep. And so it's not that I outgrew anything, and this is the same for any of us. We don't just outgrow things. We just, a lot of us can end up feeling like we can do better without it, if that makes sense. So I was actually very glad to be able to do that. And like I said, I plan on doing more, and I am inspiring other people around me to do it too. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what this does for me and the other people that are actually following through with this too. Um, so that covers that. Patience and stepping out of your comfort zone for yourself. It's both are very beneficial things to have. What do you want, cat? Cat's trying to distract me here. Come on. You stole the live stream I was on last week. Come on. Anyway, come here. I know. Tap on my. Come on. Come on. She's so distracting. It's annoying. Not really. She's fine. Anyway, come on. Meow meow. But as I was, so yeah, that covers that part of it. It was very different for me, and I want to continue feeling that way. And so there's that. What other things are there? Yeah. What do you want? Let's see if Derrickabon wants to be on here yet. No, Derek. Gosh, I kind of want to wait until see if he comes on, because if he does, then hey, cool. Like we can chat up the other stuff, because the other stuff, the more political stuff and the nerdy stuff, I think we would both find a lot funnier. Sorry, I'm just reading something here. What the? Okay, anyway. ADD moment there. Hold on just a moment. There we go. Okay. I was having to adjust something there. So, what was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. So there's another topic I saw in the news recently about, we're going to move into more political territory here. I saw that the newly elected House Republicans, now that they have the majority, they wanted to talk about, first they wanted to talk about the newly hired IRS people being, or just cutting the funding to them because it was unnecessary, which yes, it was. But then they wanted to talk about abolishing the IRS and the income tax. The income tax was not meant to be a permanent thing anyway. It was meant to fund World War One, and now it's still here now. And I'm thinking to myself, you know how much money we would save without an income tax? And yeah, you listening to me? And it's an awesome idea. Abolish the IRS, all this stuff, the state taxes. Everybody goes, well, who's going to pay for the roads, the lights, the water, everything? That's done locally anyway, through the state, through local cities. You know, that's not done federally. So that's for one. And it's all just a show, because they know that the Senate is owned by, run by the Democrats right now, and the executive branches as well, with the president right now, Biden. And so all I can think of is, what are they really thinking? Other than, my only thought is that it's a strategic ploy so that they can take over again in another 2 years, because they can say, a lot of people hate the IRS and they hate having to pay taxes. So why not have them portray and paint the Democrats who are going to vote against abolishing the IRS and the income tax as the bad guys? Because I could see that chess move being made. And they're probably saying, okay, this is a long-term strategy here or something. But at the moment, it appears nothing to be than just mere virtue signaling. I hope that's not the case, but I can't help but think it, because nothing seems to happen in Congress. Nothing useful seems to be passed. Oh, hey, Alex, what's up? Just blabbing on and talking. So, I'm glad to see you here, though. But yeah, it's all, I feel like it's all virtue signaling, and until they actually take some kind of action or everybody agrees on something, it ain't gonna happen. That's just, oh, hey, Derek has joined.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, cool.
Oh, this is the StreamYard?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're on it. That was easy to put you on, too. Nice.
Huh.
Cool.
That was nice. Like Skype.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Skype, but for live streaming.
Yeah, do me a favor.
Yeah.
And right when I say go, you say stop, okay? I'm going to do a latency check. Go.
Stop.
All right, well, less than a second, it seems like.
That's like, yeah, that's clear. That is clean. I like it. It's a lot better. This is a lot better than a lot of other things. And this mirrors onto YouTube, too, which is really, really cool, I think. So,
oh, it does? Oh.
This is the kind of thing I've been saying we should be getting on, and like making a, doing this kind of thing on, because then we can talk to each other and we can present our ideas to everybody else.
Is that Homelander?
There he is.
There he is.
I should also.
It's like a
yeah.
breast milk. I don't know how many times I've seen him drink breast milk before.
You what?
I said I forget how many times I've seen him drink breast milk.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, he's got a
drinking.
Drinking it like that. But, yeah, I was just talking about the. Before I forget, too, I'll be off this topic in a minute. But I was talking about the defunding the IRS and the income taxes, and I'm feeling like I want to see what you think about this too. It feels like it's just show, because who controls the Senate right now? The Democrats do. Who's the president right now? They're not going to get that thing passed. Who
controls the House?
The Republicans control the House right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They elected the new speaker, right?
Yeah.
So
and so
you would think something would happen better.
Yeah, and like this comment right here, if you remember, Congress and all politicians pretend to fight, but most go have drinks and dinner after, BSing in front of the camera. Pretty much. That's how I feel about it. It's all show. Like I feel like it's like having to like they say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this really cool thing, and then it's like it's never gonna pass, it's never gonna happen. But part of me thinks, what if it's like some kind of, what do they call it, 4D chess move or something, where they're thinking maybe they're saying that if we don't get it passed because the Democrats say no, maybe it's their way of saying, hey, this is the party that turned down the idea of you never having to pay income tax again and getting rid of the most hated part of the government, basically the IRS. A lot of people don't like them, so it's like a long game maybe, or something. Maybe in 2 more years nobody's going to want to see that, so they want to vote them out. But that's the only thing I can
polarized. It just seems like if the right thing to do is what both extremes hate.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that is, though, because the only thing you see on news is what is going to keep people tuned in. And so that's
Right.
going to be some sort of extreme thing. And, people like politicians are just paid off. And I think if you just kind of track that money, that money does see like Fox News and CNN and places like that. So
Yeah.
I think they're all really connected, but I just don't know what a reasonable action for any politician, any political person to take is these days. I just don't know what what middle ground looks like. And it's probably not libertarian because it just feels like that's Republican, Democrat. It's probably mirrored for me. So, and then there's like libertarian. Like I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
Really.
libertarian. I always
the guy is talking. I don't know anything about politics really. I just know like that things are just way too extreme these days to be like palatable for just an average person. So,
yeah,
even though
right. Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. And I mean, I've even seen people on both sides of the aisle say, I'd rather be paying taxes and have the IRS and stuff because at least I know I'm an honest person. And I go, you weren't like an honest person paying your taxes. I have nothing to hide. I go, we didn't have to pay this. I think I've told you we didn't have to pay this income tax back until World War I. It was meant to fund World War I and then go away. And it just stayed. It's like, okay, that's why I like the idea of, I hear anything that the government implements is never truly just temporary. It'll stay around in some way, shape, or form just to, let them roll over in some way. Like, I mean, just look at, wear a mask. Even businesses now telling you wear a mask.
There's God, I can't even. Those are too big. That's going into another huge thing that I can go on a rant about.
Oh, I know. That's why I brought you on.
But I bet they still have the income tax because we're still funding. You say funding wars with it, but
like the military-industrial complex.
You gotta have enough money to send over to those people.
The military-industrial complex.
I don't know. I have to say that phrase because it's so ridiculous.
Where's our Homelander at, man?
Where's what? Yeah.
Homelander at. We need one of those.
Yeah. I like this. Give you an example. So we have a ton of young and entitled people. Therefore, service industry jobs and hard jobs like construction are not being filled. Yeah, that's true. And you wonder why neither side is stopping the migration caravans and the illegal crossings. No kidding. Neither side, because one side wants to invite them in so they have more voters. The other side wants to keep them in.
They have more voters. Them and the dead people.
Yep. My great-grandfather voted for Buchanan. No, not the Buchanan back then, but the James Buchanan in the early 2000s.
And who's the chick that died? Presley? Lisa Marie?
Oh, Lisa Marie. Yeah, Lisa Marie Presley died. Yeah.
No, she's a Democrat. I mean, she doesn't even know it.
She's automatically whatever party. She's automatically that party. She's
automatically gets the vote.
But D doesn't stand for Democrat. It stands for dead. Yeah, and like Alex says, at the end of the day, who benefits? That's all rich people, no matter their political leanings. I know, like it always, and they just stay in the position for like years and years until they're really old or they're octogenarians or whatever they're called. Like 80 years old.
What? An octogenarian?
I could be saying the word wrong, but like,
I don't even know what that is.
You what? Like somebody that's like 80 years old. I think Octo is 8. Hold on. Octogenarian, yeah, a person who is 80 to 89 years old. That's right. Yeah, I haven't heard that phrase in a long time. Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
What were you saying about masks again? You mentioned
something. I was just saying that was another like thing that we could. It's another thing that almost like, you know, how the government seems to implement something that's temporary and then it almost seems permanent, whether through the government or through some kind of company or corporation. Like we can go downtown somewhere, you or I, downtown Dallas or Houston, whatever, and we'll end up going, oh, well, we'll see it. Like inevitably some company will say masks required, and it's like it's staying. It's not the government implementing it permanently, it's the companies doing it.
The people that are like the scientists that are in these like labs, you see them like dealing with like petri dishes, like with like shit in them and stuff, and it's like
yeah.
Yeah, basically. And you see them wearing these like ET like government suits, trying to like, you know, just breathing through oxygen tanks, and they think the fucking mask is gonna work.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
I don't get that. Like you see them doing that, like, oh, COVID-19, and then they're just like, like sound like.
The ET costume is what gets me. I know what you're talking about.
It's just like they're wearing that to like what? Be safe. And we're gonna wear like a sock over our mouth, and that's gonna keep us safe, or something the equivalent of that. Which I've done that before.
I remember the mask that you had that was like see-through, almost like mesh.
Oh yeah, I wore that around one so many times.
Gosh, I remember how much controversy that caused.
Yeah, and it was hilarious to me. Nobody's gonna say anything to begin with, especially not a DDR player. One of those. God. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Don't even get started with the DDR community. We should rant about that too at some point. Because I'm gonna get into more geeky stuff afterwards that I knew that you and I could laugh at or relate to, and I knew you'd have some good input. So that's good. Yeah. Wait. I came to the conclusion about 12 years ago that these politicians, since they go to same schools, therefore on graduation day, they flip a coin and whose party is they're going to. That's just funny. It's like, all right, we're gonna go to Democrat party. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like they just flip a coin and they decide which one they're gonna
care, really.
Yeah.
There's some people that care. I see like AOC on like on what do you call it? That YouTube Shorts.
Or maybe I get tired.
Like a very candid shot of her just like going on about like gas stoves. Like
oh my gosh,
I give a shit about gas stoves right now.
Like everybody's
how expensive and groceries and buying stuff, and they worry about gas stoves.
Man, yes, exactly. You look just a week ago, you're not going to see anybody complaining about any kind of health risks of gas stoves, and then just suddenly it came up out of nowhere. It's just like a sudden thing to panic or complain about. Gas.
I still don't know what the problem is with it. Like they want electric.
Yeah, they want electric stoves, and I think my lab partner, or the guy that that I work with, who usually leans more leftist, actually brought up a point that said, he goes, "What about the people up in Alaska, like that have a lot of they might have a lot of outages because of their I guess their weather systems up there and stuff." And he's like, they might need a gas stove up there. That's ridiculous. And I was like, that's a good point. Like you can't rely completely on electricity fully or to any degree whatsoever. Like storms, things like that kick in that can kill your power, everything like that. It's crazy. And I hate it. And then you got like they had a video of like 4 Democrats that were all using gas stoves and videos of theirs, like to prove them that they were being hypocrites. And AOC was one of them. And she goes, I hear people talking about me wanting or not exactly these words, but she's like, oh yeah, people are saying that I'm using a gas stove. Well, I have to because I rent. And I go, well, then, if
can't she just move?
Yeah, can't she just get a freaking house? Like, how much
rents?
She rents. Yeah.
Man, I would hate to be her like landlord. Dude. Mm-hmm. Imagine just dealing with her. I don't even know. Like, you're complaining and trying to like use her power to like, or her leverage in politics to like force you to do something, like to change out the stoves or something like that.
Like if she really is meaning by her, if she has any if she means what she says, she would be doing that. She'd be protesting it to the landlord. Hey, how about you change that with electric stoves. Do that for me. I mean, and knowing how everybody in New York for some reason loves her.
Yeah.
Like why? And see, and this is what I also don't understand. She used to be a bartender, so who knows how much she made as that. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say she's ugly or anything. So she probably made good tips. How we've seen how women can get tipped way too well sometimes for their own good. And so, you know exactly, like, remember when we would sometimes pick guy bartenders on purpose just to tip them better? But with AOC, though, I'm thinking, okay, I think Congress members make a pretty hefty salary too. So, and then after even one term, they have like benefits and protection for life. So I don't want to hear any excuses about how she has to rent. I'm like, no, you don't.
She has to rent.
She has to rent. Like, I don't even believe that. I mean, or she's renting and owning. I don't know. Maybe she got both.
She's renting and owning. I was going to say that, I don't even have gas connections in this place.
Yeah.
And you know what else I found out? It's been 1 year since I got this place, and I don't even have a chimney.
Huh.
Like, I have this fireplace, and I remember lighting logs, and all the smoke came inside. And I was like, okay, what are you doing? And then it just kept billowing in, and I was like, go away.
Go away. We'll blow away.
And then I got up on the roof, and I was like, I just felt stupid afterward, but I was like, is the smoke coming out of one of these little pipes? And I kept like trying to investigate, but yeah, long story short, like I just don't have a chimney, and the roof or the fireplace is like cut, and they just patched it, and so there's no outlet.
So it's just there to look cool,
something like that. Yeah, and so I put the TV and stuff in front of it. So
I saw that in a video. I was going to ask that because I saw a video and I was like, is that in front of your chimney? I almost thought, wait, that's not your house because I know where your TV is, but that's not a bad idea. Yeah, do
what I can.
Just do whatever you can. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Just do it again.
Then I changed up. Yeah, I wanted a fireplace, but I'll just turn it into something else. I don't know what. Maybe patch it up. Hide it.
Right. That's a good idea. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what else I've seen recently, and I wanted to see if you had seen. Scroll on Twitter here. So, oh yeah. There's another thing that came up. I don't know if you've seen this too. What?
Here's Elon Musk. He's always up. Elon Musk is always like on my stuff.
It's like, what you want, Musk? You got his number right now.
He has a lot of one-word replies. He's like,
yeah. But did you see on Twitter there was a thing going around of a business owner? I think it was in California somewhere who had a homeless person outside his business. And spraying her with water, and everybody say with freezing cold water. And I go, get off the land, go. The guy was telling her, go that way, and she wouldn't move.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, they're leaving their, they're using their ground as their glorified toilet, and they're, setting up camp in front of businesses. I mean, I know we both know how much of a turnoff they could be. And, if you're walking up to a business that has a bunch of homeless people in front of it, how are you going to react? I don't want to go in there. I mean, there's a bunch of people that are going to ask me for money. Like, go away.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, you got $1?
I actually, because I'm doing these cold baths, sometimes after a run, I'll want to get in one, and I'll be all sweaty. So I'll ask Kathy to hose me down.
We need to get a video of that. This poor homeless man is getting sprayed by a homeowner.
I went outside and I was like, all right. I was just in my shorts. All right, go. And it was like, in the 40s.
Yeah.
Like, all right, go ahead and spray me. And she started spraying me, and I intentionally fell, and I was like, while she was spraying me with it. And she's like, I felt a lot of power right then. I was like, Yeah, I bet you did.
Like, no.
Then I kept like this act up. So I think I was doing it because of that video that you saw.
Yeah, we need to get a clip of like Gabby spraying you down and making you look like a helpless homeless person. Be like, this heartless homeowner is spraying a homeless man with freezing cold water and forcing him to take a cold bath.
Oh God. I did take a cold bath last night before I went to sleep, and it releases melatonin. Apparently.
Yeah.
And man, I slept really, really good.
I'm gonna have to consider doing that somehow. I've thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it outside of taking a cold bath, but maybe a cold shower would work. I don't know.
Yeah, that actually does wonders. I do that in the morning. That wakes me right up. It's like, woof, gets the blood going. Yeah. It feels like.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then it gets you used to, business owners spraying you down, I guess, if you wanted to camp out in front of their
business owners spraying you down. What did he own? Or what did that person own?
I think he owned like an art gallery or something like that. And the worst part is that a lot of people were on Twitter or elsewhere, where this is going. They all doxed him. They found out where he was located and gave him all 1-star reviews to attack him, basically got his business shut down, I believe, too. Because of it,
I think the assault happened outside of the business. So why are they giving the business 1 stars? They didn't do anything.
The assault of cold water, yeah.
They're like, this is shitty art. Let's give it a 1.
Yeah, basically, like it's like they all attack the guy, the owner, because he doesn't want that in front of his property, and he thinks it's going to drive customers away, which it will. I mean, I can see the logic. If they don't leave and the police in places like California don't do anything, you got to put it in your own hands. And
are they still not doing anything?
Supposedly not. Wow. That's the problem, is that you can call the police and they will do little about the homeless situation over there. It's bad from what I'm understanding.
We're sorry.
And And I kind of tried to read other people's solutions to get the other side of it, and all they could say was, "If I were him, I would bring him out a warm meal and a blanket and a warm." And I go, "Then why don't you just open up your own house to homeless people? Stay in my yard."
Hey, don't do that.
It's just like the sending illegal immigrants over to Mar-a-Lago thing, or not Mar-a-Lago, Martha's Vineyard or whatever, where it's like. Within I think hours, was it a couple hours they got them sent back out, or the next day they're like, no, we can't handle them here. That's too many people. It's like, welcome to our world.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even want to bring this up. God, this is what I see whenever I'm scrolling Twitter.
Oh no!
Fuck! Use my camera. But I see this stuff on Twitter, and it just serves to aggravate me.
Yeah.
And I just like wants to stay off of it, but
yeah, Twitter's fine. I mean, at least for now, because at least there can be an opposition, and it doesn't feel like it's just one-sided like it used to be. That's why I'm on it. I mean, and there's a lot of guys on there I like, and I'm glad to see you on there, because at least it gives we can at least have a good exchange and sense of humor on there as well. And that's why I enjoy it. Yeah, I like that better than Facebook. I rarely ever touch Facebook except for Messenger.
But there's going to be something that's going around. There's going to be there's some guy got tased. It was a high school teacher.
Oh no!
17 hours ago, but I am not giving any details because I do not give a shit about anything that happens in the news when it comes to what they're talking about. So.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't. It's always twisted in one direction.
Right. It always is. Yeah, always. It seems like it always is. Yeah, it's news and politics just gets really old after a while for that reason and that reason.
Yeah.
Because I realize, like, a lot of people will talk about one thing and they hear one side of it and immediately cling to it and assume it to be the truth, and it's just like, we can't. I hate that so much. I mean, it's just that kind of thing is really for a while. And I don't know. What do you want? Anyway, but like, And then it seems like all forms of media are also very one-sided too, or at least they're biased towards a certain political agenda. Yeah, and that's like the news media. That's even talking like movie media, music media, comic books. It's just like, geez, don't even get me started on all that.
Comic books, like, have there been recent comic books that have been very leftist?
Extremely. It's been like that for almost like I want to
How
say
over-
almost
how
a decade.
far
It's
they
been
are.
like, yeah, like I mean, we see the direction that the Marvel movies are going and stuff. So like that's just one idea. The Marvel movie ideas are coming from the comic books, and the comic books are reflecting it, but they're failing too. That's the other thing. It's like they're not selling, but they're still making it. I'm going, who's giving the money for all this stuff? And
yeah, that's what I'm curious about too.
Did you hear? I'm not even kidding, and I don't know how if they've even resolved this, but there's a recent comic
anymore.
Yeah, nothing will surprise you. There's a recent comic book of the Joker is pregnant, and get ready for this.
What'd you say E for? No, that's a fucking female. That's a female, bro. No,
it's the Joker. I'll send it to you later. I'll tag you. It's hilarious because of how bad the art looks and everything. But he gets pregnant. Get ready to enter. Get ready for the joke here. I know you're going to think the same thing.
That's got to be the joke. You're already joking.
No, it's worse. Joker supposedly gives birth to a mud baby, whatever that is.
Oh, yeah, to get big shit. That was it. That's the whole
thing. You're thinking the same thing I did. You're thinking the exact same thing I did.
What a mud baby.
Just like, that's bad. This is so bad. And
that's the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, let's see.
Birth of a mud baby. What does that even mean? What is a mud baby?
I don't know. Like, all I could think of was that really like muddy guy from Batman, Clayface. I was like, is he giving birth to Clayface?
Very bad kink, man.
I was like, somebody spent too much time in Taco Bell. They're really messed up.
I just want to send the gif of Jeff Goldblum. That is one big pile of shit.
That's perfect. Hold on, I'm gonna. Let's see. There's a way to open the private chat. If you look on the right hand side, you can click on that, and I'm gonna send.
I'm in that.
Yeah, you're in that right now. Okay, good. I'm gonna send you the link to the mud baby, or at least the thing that leads to it. The Mud Baby comic part of it isn't Mud Baby. It's fun to say. There you go. There's the link right there. Just click that and get ready to just like, oh my gosh.
Time to waterfall.
Oh my god. Just look at it.
OBGYN.
Yeah, we have an OBGYN.
Why does Joker's face look all like concerned or something? Like, how did the Joker even get pregnant?
Right, exactly. I'm wondering that too, man. I don't get it. I'm just like, I mean, I guess they'll explain it somehow, but I'm going, there's nothing that it can explain him being pregnant. Like, pregnant doesn't belong to a guy. The word, I'm sorry, that's just a really bad case of the Taco Bell turds.
Well, I guess I don't know what happened, but
like that's
all that white on his face, that's not paint.
It's not paint.
Yeah. What does he even look like? I can't even like his like his eyes are doing that. He's all like,
except it's the other way around. Like,
Yeah, I don't even get that.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that, though. I didn't know if you'd heard about pregnant Joker. I'm almost afraid to see it. There's another one where it looks like they're performing the. Here, all it says is it has them underneath the cloth that's between his legs. And ready, and he goes, "Ready as I'll ever be, Atomic Skull." I'm like, what? Ready?
Atomic Skull.
I guess that's who perform. I don't know, but
the birth is going to be performed by Atomic Skull.
He's going to perform it. It's go all over. Like, oh gosh!
I'm surprised they didn't abort it.
Oh my gosh! No, you can't abort a mud baby. That's you gotta flush it. or in the case of San Francisco, you just drop it on the roads and just right, keep walking. That's bad. That's horrible.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, Atomic Skull.
What is this? What is he looking at?
Exactly.
What is his point of view right now?
How do I share screen? I want to share this with people, but oh gosh, there we go. It's a way to share screen.
I don't even know what he's looking at.
I know.
That's kind of what I want to know from a biology perspective.
Yeah, explain that.
Oh God.
It's horrible. And I'm just that's all I had to show you about that one. How about the Velma show?
Oh, I have seen people talk about it and how it's bad, and then Shaggy is a cuck, I hear, and I saw him get out of a vehicle or something. I think isn't Shaggy black? With dreadlocks or something, or something.
And his name is changed to his name is now Norville.
Norville. Okay, anyway, it's a funny name. Well, I forgot what happens. He gets out of the car and then Velma scolds him and then tells him to give her his homework or copies of his homework or something.
Mm-hmm. I heard about this, but I didn't see this scene. So
that's all I saw, and I was just like, he's such the same. He's portrayed as a guy the same way as the guys in these stupid ass commercials about household products.
About desperate dudes and stuff like that will just do anything to get to please mommy.
Yeah, or their wife is the one that has to swoop in and save them from them trying to I don't know, misuse paper towels. And,
because the guy's too stupid to know how to use paper towel. Yeah.
Okay, buddy, whatever.
Yeah. You're too dumb to know how to use paper towels, so let me come in, stupid man, and let me.
Something. I don't even know. Or he's making a mess, and then the mom takes a break from
watching the kids.
She gets home or something, or she gets home or something, and she's got to be in her business suit.
She has to be doing something that usually it just makes her look like a hard worker, and that he's just getting in the way of her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen that. I know exactly that kind of thing. Yeah, it gets worse than that in that Velma show too, supposedly.
It does.
So
So
Fred, the leader, he's they portray him. They constantly make jokes at him for being a racist or being a white man that wouldn't know anything, or even painting him as a Nazi in some cases, because he's the stupid white man, basically the overly rich, entitled white man. And
wasn't he in the theater or something, or something?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Go ahead. And then Daphne is the pretentious white girl that is and she ends up I think falling in love with Velma or something like that. I think which is really weird. And then Velma, of course, is race swapped too, just like Shaggy is. So Velma is Indian, I believe. So there's that. And I find it very strange too that they're gonna they got a scene of Velma and Daphne making out, and I'm thinking these are supposed to be or like 15-year-olds or whatever. Like, I don't get the whole fascination with a bunch of adults making cartoons of younger kids.
They're just trying to steal the innocence of these kids, man.
Yeah.
Even if you don't said, at least in recent days, like if you don't believe in God, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's rough at times, but like these people are evil. Like whenever they do these things, like I know it's hard to see like the goodness that is God, but at least you can see the evil that's going on in people's hearts right now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if that doesn't convince you that there's a God, like I just like trying to like put these kids in positions to show sexual acts to them and show nudity to them at these drag shows and like I just man. Like they're not even developed yet, and I just, God, there's just no. Like I've always said, there's no more words left for these people.
If there's anything that like me, and I'm a pretty peaceful person, but if there's anybody that makes me break that peace, it's those kind of people that do that to kids. Like I obviously don't have kids or anything, but that just tells me what kind of parents I'd be. I'd be like somebody would be hurt. Like I can't. Yeah. The thought of putting a kid in public school these days is horrifying.
Oh yeah, I have a few friends that I talk to them about their kids in public schools. At least in certain parts of the country, they actually stand up for actually what's right, and more importantly, abstain from what is wrong.
Yeah, well, that's good. Surprising, but it's good.
But I just wonder what, like 20 years from now, what is it going to look like? Like, what is this, like, whole world going to look like? What does society look like at that point?
Yeah.
Because from the 90s, we changed a whole bunch until now. So from now until like 20, 25 years into the future, like, what is that going to look like at that point?
I mean, we have people that are we have everybody wanting to be accepted as like a different gender, and we want to accept them as different sexualities or as different, whatever these days. And they want to convince us that there's more than two genders and everything like that. And now, it's just like like you said, in another 20 years, where are we going to be? It is an interesting thought because, I mean, with technology advancing the way it's going, and at the same time with our education regressing, I feel like it's like, okay, it's something I've thought about too. Is technology going to be just like I think you and I have talked about this before too, in the way of WALL-E, where the technology is going to take care of us because we're too dumb to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. AI is going to take over. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I've always liked that prediction. Yeah,
I think, software absorbed hardware. So now, we used to have all these things that were more, I guess is analog the word? It was more mechanical, like clocks and film recorders and things that were like Rolodexes, checkbooks, things like that were more manual, I guess. And then they got absorbed by software, and now software does all these things for you. Yeah. And I think in the future, my prediction, AI is going to produce software and absorb what is currently considered software.
That is a very,
it's just going to be profound. AI. Yeah, we're going to have our own AI, and it's going to be tailored to us.
That's an interesting concept I never thought about, because I know like we're advancing in a lot of forms of like AI, robots, things like that. And if you look at I'm sure you've probably seen like what AR or AI art is starting to look like. Just
oh yeah, it looked really good actually. I like it.
there's I've seen like AI art done for anime and stuff, and it looks just as good, if not like more detailed than people drawn anime stuff. I'm like, man, this is kind of freaky in a way, like how an AI will just completely make up like a character and just draw it out. I'm thinking, okay, when are they going to get to the point where they make the storytelling, where they do this or that? Like, where it's going to get to the point where you've seen like the deep fakes and stuff, like how realistic those will look, and where we won't even need actors anymore. I was talking about this with my coworker too. Like, you won't need actors because you could just deep fake somebody's face onto like a CGI person or something like that. And that CGI is eventually going to look so realistic. It looks like you're recording with a camera, and you don't need to have a studio. You don't need to have actors, nothing. You know, it's like like just the idea of AI. It's kind of cool in, you know, from a scientific point of view, or like from a technological point of view, but it's also kind of freaky almost. You know, it's like,
man, what if like all the information, we're putting a ton of information online right now, like more than we ever have been. Yeah. And with that, what if AI could take that information and learn what makes you happy, what makes you scared, what makes you sad and cry, what makes you melancholy, what makes you excited, what your type is as far as a love interest, what type of enemies that you have, what sort of relationships you have with your parents, and so on and so forth. Just learn these things about your life and the things that make you tick, and make like the perfect anime or the perfect movie that's not necessarily about you, but it's using the things that it learned about you in order to make like the perfect series for you, just tailored to you. Yeah. And so when it wants to make you sad, it'll make you sad. When it wants, and it'll do the perfect type of storytelling with all of it. And I think that would be interesting. Like imagine like a theoretical perfect movie that was just made for you. Imagine someone that is like a director or a producer or whatever they're called, and they've watched your entire life, and they then make a movie about all the things that I listed earlier. I just think that would be really, really neat to like be able to experience. Like recently I was watching Dragon Ball Super and just watching remakes, or not remakes, but I wish. Watching like reruns, and I was like, man, like there's just certain things about this series that just make me like really motivated, like push beyond my limits and you know, try harder at life and all that sort of stuff. I just wonder what it's like to have like the perfect movie or a perfect
like
series.
something that would give you that feel of motivation, something that would just cater to your interests or to your specific, I guess, key to motivation or something. Like it's like it would, the AI would make something that gives you that same level of like feel that Dragon Ball Super did.
Yeah. Or like a song, maybe.
Yeah.
Perfect to express your emotion that you're feeling perfectly.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting. Like you've got me thinking now, like, why would I not be surprised if we see our first like AI produced movie or something within our lifespan? Or I mean, it could go to the next level. You know, we could go to the next level with that too and make it like a VR movie, VR 3D, you know, I mean, and it's all produced for you. Like it's your own world, basically. It's like, was it Sword Art Online or something? I don't know if you've seen that anime, but it's like, you know, you're just kind of going into your own real life RPG or something. And it's like, gosh, it's a cool concept, but it's kind of freaky too. But it's an interesting concept I never thought about. Yeah. Shoot.
You would never have to leave home at a certain point.
No, go the way of Wall-E, except maybe we would have like maybe the AI or something. Like, you remember, I think we've talked about this before too. What if you could have something control you like an RPG character and then do everything for you, so you're under control of something else for a while until you level up to a certain point where you want to be, and you don't have to worry about the demotivation or the depression or anything else that fights you. You just got something doing it for you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This seems like such a pipe dream right now.
Yeah. And that's the stuff we get now, I'm sure was probably a pipe dream just 20 years ago too.
Oh yeah.
20, 30 years ago. Yeah.
Just talking right like this right now would be.
Yeah. Exactly.
But something to like control, but I would take a lot of technology, a lot of advancement to control like your muscle contractions.
Yeah.
Where your neurons fired at, to completely map out your brain and be able to control exactly how things are fired, exactly what you do. But then, like, if that got hacked, man, I'm fucked, man. I'm telling you what. Like, if that got hacked, it would be like someone could just like tell you to like kill yourself, and you're like, all right.
Someone could tell you to go, kill a whole group of people or something like that. And it's like, well, it wasn't me under control of that. That's what people think about with is it Elon Musk's his was it Neuralink?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Like that's just like one part of it, just like one little boink into your brain or whatever, and it controls a lot. I see where it could be very helpful, and I could, and I can also see where people are worried about it being like something that could work against you if somebody decided to hack it, for example. But it's weird to think your brain can actually be controlled in a certain way like that too.
Yeah, like it is.
That's really fascinating to me. But like we've gotten to that point. Like when Elon talks about it, I'm like, golly, how is that possible? But yeah, I'm just leave it to the scientists, I guess, to figure that out in that case. But trust the science. No.
One thing about AI I've noticed, I've thought about as well, is that it's going. I mean, people talk about how it is self-aware, like become there's going to be self-awareness, but it's going to. AI is software.
Yep.
When AI learns how to build software, it's going to learn how to build itself.
Yep.
And
so, replicate itself.
Once it builds, its ability to build, if you build your ability to build, and then it can exponentially
reproduce.
Itself.
Yeah. It could almost reproduce. Yeah.
Man.
Or it could either enhance. Yeah. It'll either enhance or reproduce. Or either both. Yeah. Gosh. I like that. I mean, I'd like your thinking on that too. God. Man, but then, and it's like, how I am. Like, I really like technology, AI, stuff like that. But then you also, you see how much of that could actually be controlled to a degree. Like, how like an Amazon thing, when you try to ask it something, it can give you usually a generally biased opinion on something. Like how much of those biased opinions will be given, to this AI, and then that'll become their learned way of thinking and thriving and going, basically. And I wonder, would that cause the AI to self-destruct, or would that cause them to make some kind of horrible AI dystopia that we couldn't get out of?
Probably the dystopia.
Yeah. Like a cyber.
If things are generally good or generally evil.
Mm-hmm.
What does it learn about the universe as a whole? Like if it learns everything there is to know in the universe, does it see it as good, or do they see it as evil?
Yeah, generally. That's a good point. It's like freaking Ultron in Avengers. Jeez, like he was in the second Avengers movie. It's like he just I think it said he did one internet search of everything that everybody's ever put out in just seconds and realized that human beings are way too flawed, and I'm just going to destroy the world.
Scary.
Yeah.
Man. Like I think politicians will be replaced by AI.
Yeah. Future. That's a good point. Yeah. Imagine that happening,
I want to see
man.
that for like the first time. Like have like a local mayor. It's like, okay, it's chat.
It's like, do you vote for Dell or HP?
Oh man.
It's like I voted third party. I voted for Samsung.
Like, okay. I'm Korean.
Go Korean.
Man, what's North Korea gonna do if they don't adopt these like technology? Like they're just gonna stay behind. Like when AI takes over, they're still gonna be over there in their archaic ways or something. Because they have their own time zone, but their own time zone isn't hourly. It's like 15 minutes off or something like that.
Really?
You know that? I think so. Like look up like a North Korean time zone. Like but I think there's like the one that's like worldly adopted, and then there's one that like they had or they have or something like that. That's like not an hourly sort of difference.
Yeah. Let's see. Does it have its own? There we go. The time zone of North Korea is known as Pyongyang time, or if you want to get really jazzy, Standard Time of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Gosh.
Yeah. What time is it that? What time is that? I know it's not like 10.
Let me see. So, let's see. Pyongyang time. Let's see. To split hour game, much like their southern brethren, they eventually concluded that the half-hour asynchronicity was more trouble than it was worth, and they returned to UTC +8 status quo.
Oh yeah, so they used to use it.
Yeah, Korea time. Yeah, or the reason we're going back to Korea time officially, it was to promote intra-Korean relations, push the country towards reunification, and overall brotherly love, with Korean relations being particularly good at this point. What was Pyongyang time like? We can only speak as travel agents, but it was a real pain having North Korea time for the few years it existed, particularly with regards to trains, etc. For whatever reason, we're accustomed to a 1 hour time difference rather than a 30-minute one. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they worked on half hours or something. That's weird.
Yeah.
That is bizarre. And yeah, like you said, it's like, are they going to stick with their archaic ways now? Or, I mean, that's the same could be said about a lot of like Africa and the Middle East too.
Yeah,
but
I'm surprised they have lights, because I replaced the 40-watt lights with a 100-watt lights.
I did that in my bathroom. Oh my gosh, it's like opening the gates of heaven when you walk in there. Wait, I'm gonna see if it makes a difference because my bathroom's right here. Hold on. No, not that. Let me turn these lights off. And then you see the whole yeah. And then I got my nano leaves in front of me, so I'm changing colors.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Man, Gabby's gonna be at home here soon. I'm gonna probably get a little snack and then head to bed.
Yeah. Well, that works.
But not like immediately. Maybe like in the next 5 minutes or whenever she wants.
Yeah, that works. That would make the stream about an hour between us, so that's good. I like that.
Yeah. When are we gonna? We can live stream whenever. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. I really like that too. Like this has made it worked out really well because it helps me have somebody to actually talk about the topics with, where I'm not just going off and making it up as I go. I like to have stuff to look over. And if you find anything interesting, whatever it is, even in the DDR communities, I don't care. We can rant about whatever. Nobody's going to care. They just want to hear me talk.
Yeah. And there's some people that are recently that are just posting their scores and just, it's never just the score. It's always the score compared to someone else's score. I'm like, can't you just post your own? Like,
it's like their low-key way of saying, look at me instead.
Yeah, just stay with your own stuff and say, hey, this is my thing. Look at it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just like, oh, here's mine, and I beat this guy by 15 perfects. I beat this guy because I AAA'd it, and I got this machine record from this guy. So
yeah,
that's how I fit into the whole thing. I'm better than
them. Ugh.
Just make sure
I can't. That just hearing that, I could see that in a lot of gaming communities, but especially in the rhythm gaming communities, it's really bad. Like not enough people talk about it, but I know they just want to dance around the subject of it. They're just like, yeah, whatever. I just like my dance games. And
oh, I got something that you might like.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
Someone said on a post, top 5 most toxic rhythm game community from the worst to the best. Number 1, DDR, Twitter, etc. And then the comment, one of them said, does anyone else remember that time DDR players on Twitter couldn't go play the game during the lockdown, so they started some stupid drama every single day?
My God.
And then I said, oh. I said, oh, like top level players playing ITG at other people's houses and not being called out for it, while everyone else could get banned if they posted a pic of a score even suspected of being from a public place. Yeah, I'm sure that everyone that doesn't step on arrows well enough to get that pass remembers those times.
That's gold.
Yeah, and then I got a couple likes from it. But,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember, basically what I said, like the top level players being able to like play and go to other people's houses and not wear their mask on stream, and
then they try to say, oh, well, we know each other, we're close, or we were, and I'm like, no, you were right next to each other playing.
You know each other, and that's fine. And I think old boy down the street knows his fucking grandma, but couldn't go give her a hug.
Exactly. Couldn't attend their funerals without being freaking socially distanced.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm
not a lot of people bought that. I was like,
yeah. We're not gonna let that go. I mean, that's what's annoying is I remember that. Yeah, like they would play at each other's garages and stuff, and that was considered okay because I guess it depends on who's playing.
The name of the building is correct, Chris. It's a house. But if the cube that you're inside is labeled something different, all of a sudden you're going to get banned by the moderators in the dance game community.
Yeah. Or you couldn't even go to an arcade and post scores because it wasn't fair because not everybody can get out. I'm thinking it's the same thing now. People are still paranoid of it. They can still go in mask wear and everything. Like it's no different now than it was back then. I mean, you just had fewer people going back then, but who cares? That was just like, oh, but wait, you got a machine at home, like you said, in a cube.
My particular cube is labeled something different.
Yeah.
It still has people that breathe air and exhale air.
Right. They have their particles just floating around.
Pretty much. They're bop Betty Bopping.
Yep.
And then they breathe it in, and they're going hun nun nunny nun. I don't even know what that means.
Nobody's gonna know what
to play this song. Keep playing it. It's like Tom and Jerry when almost looking towards the we he got to like the scent of the pie. He's like,
I love that I can play the song. I feel like nobody's gonna know what it means. It's like now I feel like I gotta explain a joke because it's like every time a disease spreads, it has to be the infected disease. You gotta.
You know, it's really bad if you get if you get someone under the covers and like you have the heater on under the cover and it's pulling in air from the outside and heating it up really hot, and then you like rip a giant fart and then you take a water sprayers and put it under there, like all misty and stuff.
Oh my god. Under the cover. I want people to use that song now just for me about Fanny Wap. Like nobody else even knows what that means. Me about Fanny Wap. Like, what is that DDR song Anniversary? We made that in Fanny Wap. Like
those girl. She's kind of like
yeah. Come on, girl, get your Fanny Wap. Oh, you know what? Too. I also I passed up a bingo place, and all I could think about was you going bingo. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it.
I don't know why the guy being so like wrapped up in the bingo.
Yeah, you can just say it just once. You have to say it twice. It's like, I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. And we were across the street at Dave and Buster's, and like,
that's so funny about it.
And you're just like, bingo! I heard it. I heard it.
You hear the bingo. He's like, I heard it. I heard it.
Which one of you was it? You have to walk all the way across the street to you at the parking lot in Dave and Buster's.
When you're far away from someone, oh god, what's wrong with my camera? When you're far away from someone and they're yelling at you, they sound like they're far away. When I'm over a football field away from someone, I'm like, bang!
I heard it.
Yeah, what other funny like Dave and Buster's memories are there?
Oh my gosh, I remember every time we'd walk in, there was what would we call him? Not Wisdom or whatever. There he is, that big black guy.
Juggernaut?
No. Oh yeah, there's BB King, the guy that worked there or whatever. He had like a
there he is. Well, I'm pretty sure he's okay. Think of another memory. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, never mind. Get off.
I heard it.
Man.
Yeah, driving down there was always interesting too. It's weird to think now, looking back, since Dave and Buster's has been closed for a couple of years now. But it's weird to think back, like just not too long from now, that's going to become like a nostalgic memory, even more so like Planet Zero does, and it's just a weird thought to me.
Go look at Charlie. There he is. Remember that?
He's got to play a speed core.
Play a speed. Charlie,
that is not what I expected from you. Not at all, Charlie.
I'm not complaining about it. But...
No, not at all. I was just like, whoa, Charlie. I remember him playing it in his car, and it's like, okay, Charlie, like. Oh my gosh. That was the origination of the boys.
And then the guard dog.
I thought about that.
He just walked like he thought we were like talking smack about Charles.
It's like, no, dude. It's like, no, Charles, I don't have any problem with him. I've never had any problems with him.
What did he even say? He was like, "Are you talking about Charles?"
He came up and he's like, "Are you talking about Charles? What are you saying?" Or what? He was like, "That's why I called him the guard dog, because he was practically barking at him."
He's the guard dog.
Because he's the guard dog, exactly. Like I was just like, "What is he doing?" Like, I don't know.
Like I didn't know what he was like coming up to me for, because I remember you and I were sitting down like behind the supernova cabinet, or like on the like before you get to it, and he just walked up and said that, and I was like, he almost like wanted to like fight or something.
Yeah, he was aggressive, man. I remember I was like, the pit bull or something. Yeah, I was like, what is he doing? Like, I don't care. Like, it's like it's almost as bad as I thought about this earlier too when we were driving by the old Subway in Seabrook. Remember the Outcast guy, the guy that looked like Andre 3000. And then the other guy, we were like, you said something about him looking like Andre 3000. The other guy heard it, and he was like, "You talking about my friend or something?" And I said, and I had to look at him and go, "Relax." We were saying he looks kind of like Andre 3000. The other guy's like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. I appreciate that." Like the guy didn't care. He was like, "Yeah, that's cool. I actually like that."
I don't remember. Where were we at? The Subway?
We were at the Subway in Seabrook. We had walked there because we were still too young to have a car, and we were just like, "There's Andre 3000."
Oh,
and his friend got like really mad because he thought that you were like making fun of him by saying you're like Andre 3000 when he walked by or something.
Oh, sounds like something I would say.
Yeah. And so I remember that. That was a long time ago. That might have been before the PZ days, but gosh, Planet Zero. I still wish it was there now. Like, I mean, it would.
Remember the potion?
It had its own. Yeah, remember what?
The Final Fantasy potion?
Yeah, the Final Fantasy 12 potions. I wanted one of those so bad.
Yeah, man. I remember drinking that, and I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It was
I just
good,
wanted it because the bottle looks cool. I wanted it because the bottle looked cool, and I was looking forward to FF12 when it came out.
Yeah.
But man, 16 looks really cool too. Like, really cool.
I've seen some like clips of it.
Yeah, like
just like the intro or the preview or something, but yeah, it does look really good.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to see like show up is or I want to see like get good or like get really popular would be Final Fantasy 16, because I mean it kind of looks unique in its own way. It's actually going to be an M-rated game too. I was like, they're going for the mature rating in the normal series. That's the first time they've ever done that. That's pretty cool. It's going to be like actual blood in it and stuff like that. I'm like, cool. Let's do this. You know, I'm not gonna say let's go.
No, yeah,
but that's our favorite.
I miss Final Fantasy VIII's like technology in their game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want that sort of like theme again.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like the technology, the I don't know how to like explain it, but like they're all like, there wasn't like knights or not knights, but like people trying to be like, you know, there were swords, but it wasn't just like a knights on horseback and all that sort of stuff. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it wasn't like Renaissance or, you know, big castles and all this sort of stuff, which I like, right. But I do like Final Fantasy VIII's theme as well, with like the gardens and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like I liked that it was a very futuristic world, but had a lot of fantasy elements to it, like at the same time. But because a lot of them, they seem to be the other way around, where it's more fantasy, like medieval-ish, with a little bit of technology here and there. But this one was the other way around. I felt like,
yeah.
Same with 7 though. I guess 7 was a lot more like industrial-ish or like, 9 was very middle or medieval feeling, but with like almost like a steampunk vibe to it, which was
I
cool.
felt steampunky, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I really like that. I thought about playing that and picking that up again because that's pretty cool. It's on the PlayStation Network. And 10 was weird. It was very fantasy-ish, like with like it had its machines and stuff, I know, but it got close to what 8 has, I guess, in that sense. But like 10 felt like a lot of Fisherman's Horizons everywhere or something. Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Everything's by the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12 did a really good job of mixing it too. That's why I like 12 so much. But what do you want? Get away from me. Get away. Ugh. But overstimulated. Overstimulated. Get down.
Somewhat stimulated.
Somewhat stimulated. But yeah, that's I don't know. I can't think of any other games that are coming out that I'm even looking forward to, really. I mean, gosh, it's weird to say because usually I'd be like, oh yeah, a video game coming out that I would like, and I'm just going, I'm just enjoying what I have and what I've had before.
You played that taxi game, Crazy Taxi.
Oh yeah, Roundabout.
Roundabout, yeah.
Yeah, I do still enjoy that from time to time. Like I actually like playing it on my Vita a lot, and I think there was somewhere I still had one of those world records or whatever, which was kind of cool. Like the last time I was
trying to go for one, or like at some point,
Mm-hmm.
that was good. God, it scares me. I think I was like going for. Hey, I'm talking to Chris.
Oh.
But I was going for one of the records or something like that at one point, or I was just trying to go for it as like fast as I could. But it gets kind of addicting because it's not like too hard, but it's just like hard enough.
And it's a nice little competing, like getting a world record on that is a little bit more like, it's like, oh yeah, well if I don't get it, no big deal. It's not like as intense as like the DDR communities or something.
Yeah, God, I can't even. I'm trying to like get physically good for that, but that's hard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. Like I can imagine. I've thought about going now that I got my my new phone and I've got the tripod actually behind me right here. I'm thinking about maybe
video. Recording some video,
like recording videos and stuff because I could just be like, oh shoot, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so I thought about I could start going to play Step Maniac or something just because it's close by, or something, because nobody ever goes there, so recording video wouldn't be a problem anyway.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Hi. She looks like she's like about to call a strike or something like that. Right. Heaven's light.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. It sure is. Oh, look, salmonella pasta. Yum.
Salmonella pasta.
Get that salmonella out of here.
Oh yeah. I gotta.
Hey, is this salmonella meat? What is this?
No, I tried to thaw it so I could eat it. I gotta go eat.
Well, do you need to put it somewhere?
In my minute.
There's a big slab of meat right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it. So.
Eat that meat.
Yeah, better get going. We can do this tomorrow.
Yeah. If I'm. Yeah, I don't know
Okay,
what what's going on tomorrow. So I might do this again tomorrow. I actually had fun with this.
Yeah. We gotta think of some more topics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you think of anything too, by all means, certainly can.
Yeah, I'll make a list.
Oh, are you doing a podcast?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on a podcast on Monday.
I've been on a couple. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
I should start a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, look. I brought balloons.
Uh-oh.
There. Show him my balloon.
Looks like you blow up a hand like you're a cartoon. Be like, It's your hand condoms, I know. Yeah.
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see y'all. See ya.
No, don't cut the
Put
party
some credit
short because
music.
I got here.
All right.